YouTube world, my people. What's going on, everyone? What's going on? Hold on one second. Let me fix this computer over here. Sorry about that, people. We were having technical difficulties today. It is thunder and lightning out here. Internet keeps going on and off. I hope everyone's having a good evening. I hope we can make it through the show. But out here in Florida, the weather is crazy. Hope everyone's doing better than us. We got Jimmy Easy coming in from backstage. He will be here soon. You know, he has to get his Coca-Cola ready. First things first, I want to say happy birthday to one of our mods, Montanero. Everyone in the chat, give him a happy birthday. He does a great job. Thank you so much. Also want to give a huge shout out to one of the supporters from the channel, Damien. He ordered a book today. We want to let you know we're gonna send it out immediately, and you're gonna enjoy it. And let us know your feedback in the chat for sure. How's everybody doing? Good evening. Good morning. No, let's not do that, guys. So what I did want to say is someone sent me a message from Larry, and we seen it. I believe it was in the comment section where he stated he didn't lie about what he said. So before we get into some key points in the book today and ask ask that were in his book in chapter 1, we're gonna definitely go back, look at the video, do a quick few minutes on that, and you guys let me know what you think. You know, did you feel he lied about it? Did you feel he backpedaled? I mean, my opinion, I don't think you can forget somebody in a month, but hey, you guys be the judge of it and let me know. Without further ado, let's bring up Jimmy Easy, former associate for the DeCavalcante crime family, Brooklyn faction under Captain Rudy Ferrone.
Hey, folks, I'm here. Back again. How's everybody out there? It's storming really hard here.
It is bad over here in Florida. I hope we can make it through the show, people. I really do. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is booming out here. So today's going to be a nice little show. We're going to ask some questions. Listen, guys, any questions you want to ask, feel free to do so. We can get to it. Um, let's go ahead and just start with this little segment and get your opinions on what it really is. Is Jimmy delusional? Does he is he seeing things wrong? Am I seeing things wrong? Let me know, people. Let me know. So we're gonna go ahead and play it.
Colombo family. Larry, you're known, as a soldier in the Colombo family, so it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Yep.
Let me see if I can get Jimmy on here.
Get them on.
Jimmy, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey, guys. How are you? Hey, Jimmy. What's happening? Long time, Jimmy. Long time. Many years. Yeah. Many years. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Brother, you look good. Thank you. You too. You tanned. Looks like you got a tan.
All right, so we're gonna pause it right there real quick. And I just want to point out some key words. The key words is, hey Jimmy, long time no see. That was the first word from right there. Guys, let me know if the sound is good right now. I had it echoing, but I think I fixed it. Let me know if you want me to start it over or the sound is okay in the chat as far as the video is concerned. So yeah, I don't know if you guys heard it, but you heard him say, hey Jimmy, long
Let them
time."
hear it again, and let them hear the part about him commenting about my tan.
Least of the problem, so that's all good. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, like I said, man, we've got a really interesting show today. We're going to be talking with Jimmy Easy Sirocco, who was associated with the DeCalvacanti family in New Jersey, as well as a few guys in the Colombo family. Larry, you're known, as a soldier in the Colombo family, so it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me see if I can get Jimmy on here.
Get him on.
Jimmy, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey Jimmy, what's happening? Long time, Jimmy. Long time.
Many years.
Yeah.
Many
Good
years.
to see you, man. Good to
Many
see
years,
you.
brother. You look good.
Thank you. You too. You tanned. Looks like you got a tan.
I sell cars. I'm outside.
Yeah. You were always dark anyway. Got that Italian blood.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
How's the family? Good?
Hear what he just said? What did he just say, Brooklyn? Your English was a little better than mine.
He said, "You was always dark anyway. You got a
How
good
does he know that?
So how do you know if he's always dark or not if you don't know who he is?" So
And
we're gonna
long
keep
time
it
no
going.
see.
So we got long time no see, Jimmy. We got you got a tan. You're always you're always dark. So let's keep it going, people. But he don't know him. He don't remember knowing him.
Listen,
Everybody's good. Thank you. You
Thank
too.
God. Good.
Excellent.
Everybody's
Excellent.
good.
Yeah, the last time we were together, it wasn't as much fun, but
No.
right there,
we
hold
made the
on.
best of it. But I'll let you go ahead.
The last time we were together, that's when we locked in MCC during the Colombo War. He was there because I caught a pinch with Nicky and Lenny. And when I went to Otisville, came back, I landed on his floor the second time, and he took me in with him. So now he don't remember that. A month later, tell me, is either he being bullied by this Sakali guy, or he's getting old? I mean, I hate to say Larry's a liar. I really do, because I liked him. I couldn't see those guys just playing those games. But the way Sakali was on there roistering, not giving the guy a chance to talk, I don't know if he's trying to intimidate the guy or not. The bottom line is, he double talked himself right there. And
So
there's
we'll
more.
keep it going because there's more. We'll keep it going, people. So remember, we have three. We have good to see you. It's been a long time. We have wow, you're darker than usual. And then we also have wow, the last time I seen you, it wasn't a very great moment, meaning they were in MCC in jail.
Prison.
So let's keep it going.
Yeah, let's talk
Last
about
time
that.
I seen you was I think it was 97 MCC. Were you? Does that sound close?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. We were going to sleep with tissues in our ear. That's how bad the roaches were.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't know.
Well, not only that.
Am I
Just
delusional?
the noise, the yakety yak all night long. They never shut up. Even, so I used to have earplugs constantly.
So people, the earplugs that he's talking about was the same exact story that Jimmy explained. Larry told Jimmy upon arrival to this new prison to put tissue in his ears so roaches won't go in his ears, because there was a previous gentleman that had to have surgery due to roaches having eggs in the man's ears.
They laid eggs in his ear, the roaches.
Larry was the one who told him to put these tissues in his ears to stop all of that.
The roaches are bad once the lights go out, which they were. You put the lights on right away, they were running all over the walls. It was the worst show in the world. But
so let's keep it going, and then we'll cut this off.
I even named the year, the time.
Yeah.
You got guys kicking the door, the guys flood their cell, and the rats were this big running through the hallways, remember?
Yeah, I know.
And then they put me up in Otisville, pretrial.
Yep.
I was
Bounce
up
back
there,
and forth a
Georgia
lot.
Conti and all them.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you're
then
gonna
they
bounce
started
around a
giving me
lot.
Diesel
For sure.
therapy.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jimmy,
Yep.
before you were locked up with Larry, did you ever hear of his name on the street,
Absolutely.
involved in the Colombo War?
Yes. Matter of fact, I drove a guy around from the other side of his fraction, Joe Smash.
Yeah. Yep.
And he with Larry was in a bad spot. But meanwhile, he was partners with Rudy with the Sherlocking and other things.
Yeah.
So Rudy told him, listen, you can't just stay in the house. We got to get this done. So he asked me to drive him around. So I got to strap up on something eating my beef.
Yeah.
And I did it. I like Joe. I drove Joe around. I used to go pick him up at his house on Bay 10. Jimmy boy, is that you? He's by the door. It got ugly, but when you heard Greg Scarpa's name, you heard Larry's name.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was funny. I got to tell you one thing about Joe Smash, and not to, when we had that big standoff at Wild Bill's Club, Joe was inside, and he really didn't want no part of it. I remember Greg telling me Joe Smash stood in the other room. He didn't really want to have that confrontation, not just because it was Greg, but he knew in his head he was doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Taking Vic's side.
So he even knew Joe Smash, who was a person that Jimmy drove for a while.
And like this, him and Rudy, everybody knows that. Him and Rudy were partners on their loan shark business. So I was always with Joe and Rudy. I mean, he knew it. He knew who Rudy was.
So now that we've seen that video, now we're gonna
A month later, right?
Well, that's actually it. But we're gonna go to the next video for sure. So now, are we all on the same page here, people? We just showed you the video. 5-6 different times he said he knew him, not just one separate occasion. Later on in the show, I think Jimmy even mentions some women that somebody was dating that was around.
Greg's nieces, Charlotte and Claudine. I used to date their best friend Nancy, and Charlotte was married to a guy named John Seganera. John Seganera was close to Greg's Jr. So we go over there sometimes over there. And I bumped into Larry once or twice. He was always with Greg, whenever. But it wasn't like we were sat there bullshit. No. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. That was it. But when I got in jail, he did say, come on my show. He had a kid, Brian Lindelman, in there. And, he remembered then he it really don't matter to me. I just want to make it clear, I'm not the delusional guy. Maybe he's just got old timers, or he's scared of Dom. Like people say it in the chat right now. Oh, he's gonna go along with whatever Dom says because Dom's a bully. I don't see Larry letting anybody bully him though. That's what's got me baffled.
And let me know, people in the chat.
What do you think?
You just seen the video, so now let's post this video.
Watch this, folks.
Come on. Here's a guy who went to the witness protection program without even testifying on anybody. While he's in the program after years, oh my God, I saw somebody, they're going to kill me. Who even knows him? I've asked so many people in the streets, even Larry Mazza. Never heard of him. I don't even know him.
Yeah. Remember, you are older than me, so but he knew so many people from.
He said, I asked Larry Mazza, and he don't even know him. Never heard of him. Do you hear this shit, people?
If you had to guess who's lying, because somebody's lying, obviously. I'm just the guy in the middle. Who's lying?
It's like, this is insane. I've never seen so much. I don't even know what to call it. It's something, higher than stupidity. Like, this man is just really delusional. And now he's dragging other people in to not like Jimmy.
Especially somebody I really had a good relationship with. I thought to just, have a guy, because that guy comes on your show and he's loud and roisterous, you're going to follow him? Larry, you're not that kind of guy, brother. You're not like Greg. Greg went that way. I don't think you're that way, Larry. I don't know what happened. I'm sure maybe you weren't feeling good.
It's not, it's not about him, listen, it's okay to remember things. But man, that interview said a lot. It said more than you need to hear. It's not like one occasion, two. It was more like 3, 4, 5 different occasions. People were saying, "Oh, he was being nice." How do you be nice? How do you know what a man looks like? How do you know exactly what happened in the same jail at the same exact time? Come on, man. Like, that's crazy. We really like Jesse's show, and Larry even said to keep Jimmy on there and do a show with him every week. But come on, as a man, you should have told Dominic, "Hey, listen, I know him, and that's it.
No big deal.
It's no big deal."
That's what I'm saying. There must be some kind of misunderstanding. Maybe Larry's in another world, just yes at him because he's so high strong. But to say one thing, I mean, you hung yourself. You didn't. It's not like we made it up.
And you listen, people, let me tell you this. Shout out to all 250 people in the chat. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Let me tell you this, and we don't like to bring this guy up either, but this thing went so viral so fast that even Wiggle Worm, Mr. James Proctor himself, put out a video today and addressed this all the way in Wisconsin somewhere. He made a whole video in not even 24 hours regarding this topic. He noticed it all the way out there. You put your foot in your mouth, for sure. And I don't understand, why not only you didn't say nothing, but you know what? The same way they aim it at me, I'm going to aim it right back. The owner of the show should have clearly stated, "Hey, you spoke to such and such and said, you did know him." Transparency. It's not about listening to the stories, because remember, people on this internet, people that you're talking about, they got families. It ain't about a story. It's about the truth. If you're going to put stuff out there, then speak truth. Speak truth. The same way, Captain Crunch himself said, what did he say? Oh, Jimmy Easy. Remember, he screamed at Gene, and I'm gonna do it in my Captain voice. That was your boy. Remember? That was your boy Jimmy who said that. No. Once again, the roids might be taking over. Jimmy did not say that. Jimmy said, you bought your subscribers. You can't buy live views.
He did. Everybody tells me. Everybody in this genre tells me.
Yeah.
I ain't going to tell them who they are, but I'm sure he knows who they are because he told them.
It's not live views. It's subscribers.
Yeah. In other words, like I got 3,900. I'd have tomorrow morning 133,000. You'd say, wait a minute. Well, you did that. If they all got you overnight, God bless.
So where is the live? Where is the live there?
That's why you only get 600-700 people, 1,000 tops. That's not even 1% of your what you say you have. We get 25% of our people come to our show. Not even 0.5% comes to your show. Add it up, 186,000, half of it, 700 and change people. That's probably what you got, 0.5%. Not even 1%. They're all fake.
Let me bring up another thing, people. Everybody keeps asking the same damn question. All they have to do is watch. If you watch, you shall hear. Okay? Today on James Proctor's show that was released, and as much as you know, we dislike what he does and the way he puts things. He even said, I seen Jimmy's paperwork and I seen and confirmed the 2 murders that he was involved in. Okay? Both resulted in death. Well, the man pled guilty to those murders, including 2 others that one was put on him just to cover the situation because he arrived minutes later. It's right there, man, black and white. Why ask the same?
It's in my book, names, everything.
So let's get back to this video. Let me mute myself.
Matter of fact, folks, we're gonna have a couple guests on.
He definitely was in my neighborhood, though. But
Gene, I'm not saying he wasn't in the neighborhood, but nobody knows him.
Right.
And there's a few people that said they heard of him and they had nothing nice to say.
Make up your mind.
And I'm not even going to repeat.
Yeah, like you would hold back if they said something bad about me.
There's a lot of good. Also, you got a lot of good things now. I mean, all these messages. We get a lot of good comments in here, bro. I'll be honest with you.
We don't want to make sure I miss.
People. 300 people in the chat. If you're not subscribed, hit that for us. Hit the subscribe button, share the video. But let me say this, people. He just said they get great comments, you know, all this. People, he was just on American Made. Go look at the comments on American Made and tell me if that's accurate or not.
I wasn't even on the show. I got more good comments than he got bad. And
it's not accurate. His comments are good because his mods erased them all. But if you go on his Facebook or you go on Instagram or you go on somebody else's a platform, 80 to 85% of them are bashing him. Those are facts, man. Go look it up. The only people that you see sticking up for him is the little following that he does have, the 40 or 50 mods that he has in his chat that you see constantly. Look on the chat, 187,000 subscribers. You see the same 30 to 40 names in that chat at all times. Come on. I know the facts hurt, man. I know they hurt. I get it. But you know what? It's the truth. It's the truth. If you don't see new names, where are these people coming from? So let's go.
Anybody, hold on.
We don't get hate. It's crazy.
Well, we got good moderators.
Yeah, we really don't get no hate here, man. It's good page. 1,100 people. We paid for them. We paid for them. Hey, I didn't even hear these things. How can you pay for a fucking live? I didn't even hear.
You know who said that? Your boy Jimmy. Your boy Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy, you can't pay for views on a live, so you know.
He's so jealous.
Jamie, right? This Gene.
Bro, come on. Jimmy did not say that.
His followers, I said.
He's talking about subscribers.
I know, I meant to say followers, but I say followers.
He's not like, think about this guy. This is the same person that said he puts up a hashtag so Joey Merlino can see it. Can somebody please tell him that a hashtag don't go directly to the person? Can somebody please explain that to him? You would have to actually tag the person. Tag their social media. The hashtag is just for the internet. But I don't think he understands that. Definitely don't think he understands that.
Chris Cagnata. So you guys,
There's a lot of them in there. A lot of donations to the game, and they got good questions.
Yeah, but I'm trying to find where we left. I'll just go backwards then. Gene, did Gotti actually do Jimmy Easy? Never heard of him. Keep banging him. Keep banging Jimmy. We're not banging. We're just keeping it real. We never heard of him either. So,
do you think Joe Banana was one move away from taking over, but just picked the wrong hit man, Joe Colombo?
So now listen to that, people. He said we never heard of him. I could have sworn about 3
He's got a mouse in his pocket.
I could have sworn 3 weeks ago, Gene was on a show and said he chose Jimmy over his own boy Hootie because Jimmy has bodies. Come on, people. Come on. Are we on the same page here?
Gene don't want to fight with him. Don't you understand that? I'll tell you that all the time.
It's just crazy, man. You know what I would hope? I would hope some people on the internet put all these facts in a bottle and just send it over to him.
You don't think they know it? But this is his thing, drama. We got to just ignore him from now on. He should let him keep bitching on and on. We got to just treat him like he's not even there.
Thank you for the super chat, Primo. Thank you. Keep up the
Thank you,
truth,
Primo.
boys. Hope you enjoyed the book, brother. Hope you enjoyed the book.
Did you hear what I said? We just ignore him.
Thank you to Throwback Films. Thank you for the super chat. How much is Gene going to take from this buffoon Dominic? Nothing but a scam artist.
He's in a bad spot.
You know, he is in a bad spot because, you know, we're going to keep it real. Dom has a huge channel. You know, whether it's bought, whatever it is, Dom has a huge channel. So Gene is going to be on there, you know, doing whatever it is he needs to do. He brings a lot to the table, but to be getting screamed at and, you know, to have to let everybody know this is my channel. Gene got nothing to do with this. He got his whole team. Why does anybody got to know that? You know, that's
He'll be lost without Gene. He'll be lost without Gene. You bet me. I'll bet on.
Thank you, Chief Lewis, for the super chat. Thank you. Keep setting the record straight, gents. You're making them look foolish.
No, I'm just telling the truth, brother. They're making themselves look foolish. When he goes on there and just tries to intimidate a guy, Larry, into saying what he wants him to say. Like he did him a big thing. I came on your show. He didn't do them no favor.
And you'll see. Like, come on. We had a good rapport with American Made. You know, we really did. Why involve them? Had nothing to do with it.
He loves to start up. Here he is.
And you know what's crazy, Jim? They didn't even ask. They asked about the genre, and he just went off on you.
He went off.
I don't get it.
People say you take Joey Molino out of his mind and me, he wouldn't have nothing to talk about. Just let us go on with the show. Let's talk about me. I don't want to talk about him no more.
Thank you, the big Mick USA. Jimmy, you are so right. He just does not want to argue with Dom, and he's in a bad position. But anyway, love you guys. Love the show. What's up, Jimmy in Brooklyn? God bless.
Thank you.
God bless you too, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, we got that message yesterday. People sent us Larry's response. So we just wanted to show it and make sure that, you know, listen, Jimmy's getting old, people. We understand that. So we wanted to make sure that he's not delusional. I mean, I still got my wits with me.
And to be honest with you, people are blowing up my phone. They go, can't believe this guy. One month he's your friend. Now he don't. Yeah, it was like he was. I'm talking about. And they all said they were surprised. They said Larry's not that kind of guy. He's pretty much a straight shooter. I said, I think so too. Maybe you heard it wrong. They said no. And then he sent me a message. Don't use the word lie. I didn't have to. You just sent it to yourself.
I don't know what this is. Thank you, Alan, the Dom Sicali Appreciation Podcast. Brooklyn, you obviously have an angle here. You're refusing to just do your own thing. Who gives a shit? You have a good opportunity, Brooklyn. He's paying you. Yeah, I don't get that. Maybe you can explain that one. Thank you, Anthony. Gene got his channel back today, so let's see how much he is on Dom's page now.
Oh, now listen to me. Gene, honestly, he draws them. He really does. When Johnny Eli was out, they had a show, John and Gene, or Gene and John, whatever it was. I mean, honestly, it was hopping. I got to give them that. I'll call it like it is. And let me tell you something. Probably Dom's hell happy Johnny Eli got locked up because he got Gene. I can see it. He's that way. He thrives on human misery.
Huge shout out to Gene getting his page back. Thank you, Grapes. Dom takes advantage of what Gene brings, then boxes him the credit for it. That's a fact. You know, Gene brings a lot. He really does. He really brings a lot. And listen, you know.
And Joe Marone, he's cool, he's calm, collective. You don't mind. The other guy, you feel like you're going to give the guy a stroke when you talk to him. And one thing he don't like, oh my God, the whole everybody's going to be upset in the room. Bullshit.
Shout out to Booger. Dom couldn't get 300 live viewers for the past 5 years. It's all Gene and Merlino bashing. That's it. 100.
Exactly. What a good answer. There you go. Somebody nailed him right to the head. But he'll say that was one of us that did it. Watch, you'll see tomorrow.
And guys, I want to thank you all. Over 300 people in the live. We're very appreciative for that. To have 300 people here on a Wednesday evening, you know, whether you're busy, you're not, you're taking time to come on the show with us. We're taking time to give you a show and just present different facts, you know, because sometimes you can't just take the word of certain people. You know, if you do, then I really think you just don't. Thank you so much, Ralph, Jimmy, and Brooklyn. Just keep shining. Thank you.
You better believe it. We ain't backing up now. It makes me want to go every day now. We're going to drain the swamp.
Nice smile, Brooklyn. What's going on, Jimmy? I don't see your can of Coke today. Can't wait to hear about your book. Thank you so much.
I have to. I'm getting free Cokes.
Hold on 1 second. Thank you. Always lit. Dom's a dirty, sneaky bastard. Wow.
You're talking good about him.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you. Thank you for the super
Thanks,
chat.
Doug.
We appreciate you. 324 people in the chat. People, if you ain't hit that subscribe button, do so now.
We want to grow. We want to grow.
Tells all on Amazon. $15.99 for the book. $5.99 for the Kindle version. Go chop it up. Go get it. Follow Jimmy on Instagram and TikTok. Jimmy_Easy_Sirocco. He's always on it. So yeah, we're gonna actually go over some things in the book. As you can see. So Jimmy, originally, you was from Brooklyn, correct? You was born.
I was born in Brooklyn. I was a year old. We lived on 75th Street. Then they moved me to Ozone Park, 134th Avenue, 9727, 134th Avenue. And then from there, about 12 or 13, my mom and dad, they built new houses on Cohancy Street, and they bought one of them there. I moved to Cohancy Street. Then I was 15. I started getting in trouble, you know, stolen cars, stupid things, you know. And then finally I went to a weekend, like a reform school, and here and there. Then when I got out, I went to live with my cousins right away. And I never went home. Then I moved downtown Brooklyn. I got an apartment with a cousin of mine. We split, and from there, I stood in the streets all my life. I never had a job, nothing, no. Never knew about paying taxes. You know, we thought we were above the law. We didn't have to pay taxes. Or, you know, that was for suckers, you know. Yeah. I mean, literally, I didn't even have coverage. When I needed coverage, Gus Sarney, the one we burned his forest, I thought he had these Hasidic Jews I had no insurance, so I had to go to Heart Center, St. Francis, Roslyn, Long Island, good hospital, to get a catheterization. I had no coverage. So Gussie says, "Oh, I know these guys, da da da." I bought them $500, paid them, backdated it 2 months. They bought me a Blue Cross Blue Shield card. Well, I went in, I got my procedure, I had to get a angioplasty. But Gussie, the one that had the florist, Anthony Shawnee, the one that got dropped in Allen Park, it was his uncle.
So back then, when you was a kid, I know your father knew a couple of mafia made guys from the track. Who are some of the famous people he
Well,
knew?
my father would always say, he's always around guys because my father, I won't say it, he's ever gamble, but he loved to gamble. Craps, cards, track, the ponies. I mean, he loved the casinos. Sonny Francis, where he always said was a man's man. He's a real gangster. He knew a guy named Patty Mack, and then we went to the racetrack. Jimmy Burke, all of them were there. My father would go to Lefferts Boulevard, the club there, play cards with them. My other uncle, Anthony Diamina, he used to hang around with them. So my father would go to track with them, and I'd always meet them there. Paulie Vario, they would go there. He wasn't as much. But the other guys, they were all there gambling, and you watch how they lived and how they would treat us. This is what I want. And I'm not blaming my father for bringing me around that, but I seen it otherwise. I seen it other places. And that's the life I decided I wanted.
And those guys that you mentioned, those were the guys, those were the real good fellas that was based on that movie.
That's
correct?
where they're from. Lefferts Boulevard, it's not called Ozone Park, I forgot what they call it. By Lefferts and Rockaway. There was a Bohawk grocery store a couple doors away from where they had the place. That's where they filmed where they supposedly killed Billy Bats. That's the place. And when I seen them, and then as I got older, I ran into a guy named Fritzy. He used to come to the track, and I got close with him, and because I worked there a little bit, and he got me going with a half sheet in the track. And before you know it, I'm like, this is great. And I was the type of guy where I really wasn't out looking to chase skirts. I was more worried about making my money, laying low. And I did. And when you lay too low, you're a bad guy nowadays. And I made a lot of money. I started the bookmaking. I started my own office. Then I had joker poker machines. Then I started running into obstacles. Somebody's what a made guy. You're not getting your money. Bottom line. So eventually I went to Rudy.
Before we get into that, let's get into. Remember back when you was young. I know your mom and your dad. They really didn't want you. Had a uncle named Freddie that was very, very, very scary in the streets. And your mom
Tough guy.
and your dad,
Tough guy.
They didn't want you to be like him when you were young. Can you explain that?
Yeah, he was kind of wild, tough guy with his hands and everything. And my dad lost him, because he got killed by the Persicos. And my father never wanted that life for me, and he would say it, But again, as a kid, sometimes you get pushed one way and you want to go the other way more. And not only that, not that I was lazy, because I could have went to work with my dad, delis, pizzerias, everything. The hospitals, franchise, we had all of them in the hospital. Levittown, all of them. Syosset Hospital, we had the cafeteria. I could have did that, but I wanted the easy way out. I love the bookmaking. I love action. Like people say, he's a degenerate gambler. I go to casino, I know my limit. I see guys lose everything they got. You understand? I took things from people. Limousine company, I took a lot of things from people. So, I would never allow myself to. I got a limit. I lose that, call it a day.
And you know what? Listen, I went to the casino with Jimmy the other day. I was surprised, to be honest, because I know a lot of mafia guys like to gamble, but like he said, he knew his limit. We went to that limit, and if he actually walked away winning without no complaints, and we drove home, so it was perfectly fine. It was a good day.
I like to look at the tables too. I like to watch them first. You get a dealer, I mean, like they're on fire. Listen, I don't want no part of that. I walk away. I'm easy to say, you're too good for me. There was one girl, she had a show in 3, the other guy's got 20. She pulls over 13, 21. She had a smile at me of the year. I'm like, how could you smile? But
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Jimmy, is it true Jimmy Burke was really generous? That's why he was called Jimmy the Gent?
yeah, very generous. Everybody said he always had that name. Now on the race at the racetrack, he's giving me money to put. Hey, kid, go make a bet. It was like $20 back then. That's a lot of money. But looking back now, to him, that was like you give pennies. You know what I mean? But as a kid, you're like, wow, you know. And he even told the guy at the window, take this kid's bets. I'll never forget. His name was Frank, the guy at the window. He had a wife named Rose that was in a wheelchair, and they lived up the block from us on 97th Avenue, 134th, right on Orchard Street. And I'm just so happy he told him, make sure you take this kid's bets. And the guy wound up living up the block from us.
So I read in the book that your family, your mom and your dad, they said that you was pretty much a wild boy since the age of like 5 or 6.
I was stupid and well, I was respectful to my mom and dad, but outside I was just a menace. I really was. I was really like a piece of shit. Can I say it any more clearer? Yeah, I had no respect for the law, nothing. No. I didn't care. I always had that like I wasn't worried about anything. I look back now and I say, how did I do these things? But you know, back then when you're young, it's like, you know, like years ago, I'll walk on a roof. Now I go near a roof, I'm like, whoa, you know, so you lose your fear a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the mob when they say they're going to do away with violence. So you know what? They might as well lock their door tomorrow because they'll be out of business. Because that's the only way the mob can collect their money. They can't take you to court. So when people talk like that and you hear that, if it's true, how you collect the money? Tell me how. What do you do? Write them a letter, get a lawyer?
So at what age, like, at what age did you move to Howard Beach?
13. 12 or 13. I was in either PS 63 or 146. One was in Ozone Park by Metuchin's. Used to be up the block, Sukans and all. That school in Ozone Park, and then we moved to the one in Howard Beach. And that's 63 or 146. I forgot which one's which.
And was that?
And then I only went like a year and a half. Then I kept getting in trouble. I'm telling you, I didn't even want to go to school. I didn't. Yeah. When I didn't even. They'll bring me in the front. I went out the back. I mean, listen.
I did the same for sure.
You know, back then school that meant nothing to me. You know, I was stupid. I'll tell those kids out there today. Look at me. I made the mistake. Thank God I was able to survive and not get killed, or I came out a little successful. But that life is over with. Please understand what I'm telling you. You can't. 70% of people out there are wearing a wire. Why would you want the part of this life? And then the other 20% is trying to kill you, take your business. Hey, you could only preach once, twice. That's it.
When you lived over in Howard Beach when you was like 13, did you live around the Gotti family? Did you live close?
They lived probably about 10 blocks. It's right over Crossbay Boulevard. They were like 153rd. I forgot where it was. A little white house right off 85th Street, maybe. If I remember right, you're talking 40 years ago, 35 years ago. Yeah. No, we lived maybe 2 miles. They lived like back behind the Bow Wow used to be. And I lived on the other side by War Bombs used to be. It was a supermarket. I don't even know it's there. New Park Pizza, behind New Park.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Lancia 412. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you. So I read in your book in chapter 1 about your first crime, that it not being about money, it was about pride. Can you explain that to the viewers?
The one with the stabbing?
I know it said your first crime wasn't about money. It was about pride. I believe it was when you stole a car.
Yeah, no, I like an idiot. I had a date. I told her, yeah, I got a car. I stole the car like an idiot just to go on a date. And let me tell you something. I got pinched right away. And right away, I had to take the blame for the car. Because if not, they were going to lock the poor girl up, too. And I had the red, white, green band thing around the car because you bust out the column years ago and you just, a screwdriver. I started right up. And that was the first time. And I took the blame right away. If not, they were going to arrest her, too. So I didn't want to see that happen. So I took the blame right away. And then they let me out. Probation I took for that. A juvenile probation, whatever you want to call it. And then I got caught months later again, but there was a shotgun in the car. And let me tell you, the kid that picked me up at my house. We didn't get to the corner. The lights went on behind us. So they were following him. I got in the car. Didn't even know it was stolen or nothing, but we kept it quiet back then.
Yeah.
So they sent me to like a juvie. And let me tell you something. It was the worst feeling in the world. I mean, you know, judge didn't want to hear it no more, you know. And then I got weekends and this. Then I got in trouble again. I was just a menace. And I didn't use drugs, didn't drink. I smoked a little weed growing up. Beer, no, not really, unless it was a summer night. I was all about making money. You know, you found a score, I'm in it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Thank you, Lancia. Safe to say there wasn't a second date. Absolutely not.
No. And her dad was a gangster. You know, I was young, and I was like, I'm fucked. She's going to kill me. But then I see, obviously, it was the girl didn't know. So you taking blame? You know, I'm hanging myself, but I took the blame, so they cut her loose.
So now that was at like around 13. When did you get
No, about 14 or 15. And then,
so
14. And then I got caught months later again.
You was
And
already
106
bookmaking
precinct got me on Liberty Avenue. They had me in there. They come and got me. And then DHS was at my house for not going to school, this and that. And then I reported when the judge said, we're going to put you on house Monday through Friday with a curfew. Weekends, you're going to go in. It was just, then they shipped me to Rockaway one. It was a zoo. You fought every day. You know, it was just a hellhole. It's really, it's not humane for any kid to be in there. And that's why I try to tell these kids, don't think it's so great. Don't be a tough guy. Listen to what I'm telling you. You know, it's not a game. The system, you can't beat them no more. There's too many people out there giving the right answers, too many cameras, too many people are going to get time knocked off their sentence. And even if they're not in jail, they'll wire up on you to help get their son out of jail or their cousin out of jail. They made it where this is like Russia. The government, they convict anybody. They're turning everybody into informants. I'm telling you now, it is over out there.
And you know what, people? We're gonna be having exclusive live interview August 31st. We're gonna keep the name on the hush right now, but August 31st, exclusive live interview with the FBI leading agent that took down Jimmy's family, as well as two other families he was in charge of as well. So we're gonna have him live. I don't know if it's the first time it's ever been done, but I think it is, regarding an ex mafia.
Say it, a con. You could say it.
No, ex mafia associate, because I'm sure he could have went
listen,
on. Listen,
in the morning, Damo had me as Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh, just save one for me, because I ain't gonna lie, they look good. They
do look good, and the bread looks good too. I tell you, I'm hungry.
See, you make me hungry.
I can't talk about food, folks.
So yeah, people, just remember August 31st. Tune in. Huge interview. Leading FBI agent. First time it's been done with a mobster, ex-mobster. It's gonna be a good one. And the even better part is, he was actually the leading agent for the Brooklyn faction that Jimmy was in as well.
And the Bonanos.
And some of the Columbos. Okay, so I think you guys are going to enjoy that. Shout out to JD. Yo, Jimmy, is it looked down upon for New York guys that are born and raised in New York to get made in Jersey? People say New York guys go to Jersey because they couldn't get the button from New York City.
Well, honestly, I don't think so. My opinion, because when they open the books, they open the books. You know, Jersey wants to make. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got to get okayed from New York, especially if it's a Generese guy or a Lucchese guy, Bonanno guy. Even if he's in another state, still got to get okayed to New York. The boss has got to okay. They got to pass your name around. So, you know, it's like some people, they say their boss didn't even know them, but they were captain, which one of the agents laughed about that situation, but that's another one to talk about. Yeah, I don't think so.
Thank you, True Crime Tuber. Jimmy, where they send you to? Spofford?
Spofford, juvenile. Atlantic Avenue first.
Brooklyn House?
But of course, well, that's where I went first. But when I got processing, they brought me across the street.
Yeah.
It's a triangle to the corner. It's a hellhole. I mean, it was filled. Well, it was just old. And I didn't last long because I tried to get on the phone and I got jumped. And of course, I'm going to fight back. And of course, I got sent to, what is it called? Rockaway. And that was a little better because they had a program where you can go home Monday through Friday. And Mana, you call in, they'll ask you what colors. It was really a better thing because I was able to go home Monday through Friday as long as I had a job. Mom and Dad had delis and pizzerias, so of course I had a no-show job, but I was there. Dad kept making sure I'm putting my name up. You're gonna be here, and I was able to get out and go to the deli, eat, and pass the time a little bit.
And let me tell you, people, Spofford wasn't, it was rough there at that time. I did time in Spofford as well. You do go to court. They take you because you're underage, so they take you to, I believe it's the family court building. Under the family court building, there's a tunnel that leads to the side of the building where all the white and blue buses are in New York City. And that's where they pick you up. They transfer you to Spofford in the Bronx, and you do your time there. And once you walk into there, it's just a bunch of young guys with everything to prove, nonstop violence, nonstop fighting, and no one gets tired because everyone is young.
I woke up, I was in C76 or 78, I forgot, right? Because I'm an adolescent. I wake up, they're trying to steal my sneakers. And they were old and shitty because I used them to work in the deli, So they were trying to steal my sneakers. No, it didn't. Thank God I woke up.
And for people who never been to Rikers Island, there's a special way to go to sleep back then with your sneakers, because now they do allow some, but most likely it's the air patakis, we call them. They're like loafer slide-ons, but back then you would tie them very tight. And what people would do is they would walk around with the blade inside of the toothbrush, and they would slice the shoelaces down the middle and just take your shoes completely off.
And then they cheek the razor right here too.
Yeah.
Latin Kings were good for that.
A lot of slashings, a lot of face cuts, and yeah, that was a big thing back then for sure. Huge gang presence inside the jail. Thank you so much, Derek, for the question.
One person asked, do you know JJ Jagorino? Is he talking about the one from Ragtime?
Let me know if you're talking about the one from Rag. And Jimmy,
it's
stay
DUCH308. Jimmy, did you know JJ Garino? He still got the guys from Ragtime? Yeah. We used to have the deli, Howard Beach Deli, that was opposite Wall Bombs and opposite New Park. And we used to own by Sugar Bun. And then we used to own Howard Beach Deli right across the street next door to the Shalou Shopping Center where you can park. We had the deli right there, the second store off. We sold it to the Korean people. Worst prison, Rikers, or I'll tell you, Monmouth County, hellhole. I mean, listen, MDC, MCC is the worst. You go to sleep with tissues in your ear, your nose, the roaches, everything. Oh, You wake
That's
up
where
to call
Jimmy and
the
Larry was. MCC, people. MCC is where Jimmy and Larry met each other. That's where they was. Thank you, Derek. What's the worst prison you've been in? Thank you for that question. We appreciate that. Shout out to Montanero, cheek razor cut, called $1.50. Yes. Yes, that's definitely what it's called. $1.50. It was a lot of those back then. Sorry, I'm just reading some of these questions here. Thank you, Cody, for the question. How does a Peckerwood survive Rikers? I imagine there's no ABs in there.
Well, number one, whatever you want to call me, I really don't care. I was only in there a couple days, and second of all, I'm gonna fight. Even if I get beat up, I'm gonna fight. I don't know about you, buddy, but I got no scars, all my real teeth, so you know I'm good. The bottom line is, if you show you're a punk, they'll make a punk out of you. If they show you'll fight.
And to keep it transparent, in that prison, the white presence was a lot lower than all the other presents. That's for sure. But like he said, if you show that you're not no punk, and you show that you're willing to fight whether you win or lose, then you earn your respect very quickly, and it follows you. That's for sure. Yeah, I understand what you meant, brother. I understand. That's why I corrected it. Sorry about that, guys. There's a lot of comments I'm trying to catch up to. Jimmy, did you send out my book today? Let me know. Thanks. Thank you, Bella. What did they want your sneakers for?
I know. I only got a size 9. And they had bigger feet than me. I guess they would have traded them all, but I don't know. I jumped up right away and I was ready to fight. But, you're right in the middle of the tombs where we were. The cop was right there. But what do you think they want them for? How to be better than the ones they had on, or they'll sell them.
Thank you.
Skimmerhorn Street. Yes. Listen,
booking.
I was handcuffed. You know how they sit you on a bench like this? And this cop walked by and he kicked me with a steel toe shoes. Oh, because I was a wise ass. I was an idiot. And then when I got to the top of the stairs, I was cuffed behind my back. And he said to me, "You still want to be a tough guy?" He kicked me right down that shithole stairs. Concrete stairs. I bounced. If anyone knows where it is, Central Booking. Skimmerhorn. Oh.
Yeah, Skimmerhorn was the block.
And then they say if you write your name on the wall, when you're waiting to be called, you'll come back. And I told the guy, bullshit. So you know what? I see my name 4 times after that.
Yes, this is correct. Thank you, Doc. Mike Tyson did do time in Spofford. Yes.
I met him in Linden Boulevard on Lindenwood Diner. He had a yellow Hummer with Mark Berlin, the Olympics kid. And that was his neighbor in East New York. That's where he's originally from, Brownsville. And I got to excuse myself 1 minute. I use the restroom.
Go ahead.
Hold down the fort.
They actually got a documentary out, people. Mike Tyson in prison working out. It was pretty sick. Doing 500 push-ups straight with all chains around his waist. He was just a beast in there. I know somebody that was actually locked up with him, not in the same cell, but they were on the same tier. And they said his workout regimens were horrendous. Like, people would line up in the jails just to watch him work out. Shout out to Mike Tyson, the greatest in my eyes to ever do it. Let's catch up here on some comments. People, we hope you're enjoying the content we put out. We did get a lot of requests to go through some key points in the book like we just did. it defeats the purpose to read the whole book. It would take forever, but we're getting the bits and pieces of the life story put together. So when you do purchase the book, you can read everything and see exactly what he's talking about and what's in there. You can fact check on whatever it is. Maybe we can do a Q&A on it. Well, whatever works for sure. Please, whoever's not subscribed, 310 people in the chat, hit the subscribe button, share the live. We do it for you guys. We come in here, spend time with our YouTube family, and just enjoy the day.
I'm back, folks. I'm sorry. Too much Coke Zero.
Yeah, you got to do your sponsorship.
Yeah, I really do.
Thank you, Francisco. Easy. How well did you know Vinny Ocean, the real Tony Soprano?
I knew Vinny good. We did a couple of things together. I mean, I'll tell you one story real quick. There was a chicken plant that had a lot of Hispanics working for them, so they had no social. So they used to come to the bank once a week to pick up this bag of cash to cash their checks. So we got tipped off. We sat on it, and the kid would come down the stairs Thursday at a certain time, about 3:00, if I can remember right. And I watched 1 week, 2. He'll go in the bank. They even let him in on the glass thing. They open it up, let him out. He take the shoulder bag off, put it down. They'll fill it up with money. So I sit on it 1 week, 2 weeks. Now I go to Rudy. Listen, I got to score. I'm going to need somebody to go. He said, take Vinny with you. At the time, Vinny was a captain, and Vinny was pretty good at stuff like that. He was, I mean, he showed up with his dog, walked the dog back and forth by the back. He watched the move. Sure enough, about the same time, maybe 3:15, a quarter to 3, down the stairs, the kid came, went in there. About the following week, we told Rudy, okay, we're going to take him. So I had another car sitting across the street in case cops come, they'll crash into them. And then I bought Anthony Muscles, Anthony Giordano, and the kid come down the stairs. Anthony's waiting on the top of the stairs. The kid comes to the bank, gets the money. Now, I can't be seen because one person that works in the bank knows my face. So the kid gets the money, going back up the stairs. Anthony cracks him, boom, busted him. He went down the stairs. Vinny walked over, picked up the bag, nonchalant with his little dog, picked up his little dog, got him in the car, took off. I knew how much was really there. It was 111,000 and change. Vinny said there was 71,000 and change. That's how well I know him. That's how I felt about him. I dated his daughter, Renee. And he didn't like it at first when he went to Rudy and he put her in the holler because I told Rudy first because she was really a nice girl. She was a school teacher. She lived across the street with Zio's. And then Vinny asked me, do you have good intentions? I said, listen, if I had bad intentions, Vinny, I would go with your daughter. Like, there's no other girls I could be bad with. And sure enough, after a while, he did say, oh, my daughter says you treat him good. And I did. I treated Renee really nice, and she was a good kid. And that's that I could say about her. She was a good kid. She was a college kid, a teacher. She worked. She had a iguanas like this long, ugliest thing in the world. But good kid. And, afterwards, he's seen I treated his daughter nice.
Thank you, Paulie P. Jimmy Jims. How you doing, brother?
What's up, boy?
So when you turned, while I check these comments here, I know when you turned 18, you spent a brief time living with your cousins.
Yeah, Mickey and Tony, they lived on apartment in Canarsie on Avenue L in 96, I think it was, above a paint store, hardware store. And they were, every night they had troubles in there. They were partying like zoo. I knew I was going to wind up in trouble there. So I finally got my cousin Joey to go partners with me. We rented an apartment downtown Brooklyn. And then when I found one on Carroll Street, I took it. But then I wound up getting a building on 6th Avenue and 22nd Street. And that's where I lived up until they came and got me.
Thank you, No Name. Jimmy, say who's this guy?
Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
So when you was living with your cousins, and people listen, I know there was a question in here about the chapter. Every single story that we're going through today was from chapter 1 of his book. every single story. So if you want the full version, the stories that we're speaking on now is in different occasions of the chapter in his book. I have the book here. I've highlighted certain pinpoints just so, everybody can move along with us and see the age gaps and everything that's trending. So I know when you turned 18 and you was living with your cousins, is that when you started robbing drug dealers and all that?
Any chance I had, robbing drug dealers, break into pharmacies. The pharmacy on Garfield, they had the air conditioner on the roof. We'd lower the skinny kid down. He used to go in there and rob all the cough syrup medicine, I think, the codeine or whatever it was. And he would sell it all around the neighborhood. We would rob anything that we could have got our hands on.
I remember that pharmacy. Actually, we had a huge fight in the store. There was a taxi stand next to the pharmacy with a big glass in the front. And I remember having a fight there and going through that glass. Thank you so much, Georgina Cray. Thank you for the membership. Everyone, shout out to Georgina.
Thank you, Georgina.
For
She looks
those who
pretty
don't
too.
know her,
I'm getting a lot of pretty girls in my show. I love this. This is great.
So Georgina Gray is I would like to say, niece of the Cray twins. For those who don't know the Cray twins, definitely go watch the movie Legends. They are infamous, and you won't be. It's a great movie. Go look it up. Two of the toughest guys in London for sure. Shout out to Doug. Jimmy, did you go to the Lemon Tree or the arena?
The Lemon Tree. You talk about the ones that I used to go to Underground. The Underground was the Electric Circus. I was barely old enough to get in it, and I couldn't even get in. I kept trying to sneak in. Then there was another club called Jasmine's. I went to Turquoise, Zio's, TJ Bentley's, but a lot of cops were in there at the time. Hung out in the places like that. A lot of those clubs. Mostly when I went out, I was out with Rudy Friday nights. We go to Turquoise or Zio's, or both, sometimes both.
Thank you, Joseph. Weren't you guys going to go over the book? So once again, Joseph, every story that you're hearing right now as we speak is coming from the book. Literally. It's coming from the book. The stories that I'm giving you are directly from chapter 1 in Jimmy's book.
That, Joe, where he's going at, when I started out as a young punk, stealing cars, stupid things like that, pushing football cards, to make extra money.
So tell me, at what age was it, 18 or 19, when Rudy Ferrone finally?
No, when I was about 18, I started doing bookmaking for Fritzy. Then Fritzy had a guy named Benny Russo that was around him, and another guy named Alex. Alex was from Howard Beach, big time bookmaker kid. He was a Genoese guy, big kid, big head, big. You can't miss him. I was doing it with them. Then I think they were on top of Metuchen's. They used to work out of there. Wherever it was, they got pinched. At that point, you know what? I had my customers. I only had like a dozen of them. I said, look, they're all small bettors. I can handle this. And I started taking their own work. You know what I mean? And then before you know it, I started taking more and more. Then before you know it, I knew I had to be with somebody, and I went with Rudy. And it was the best decision I've ever made. I got a message from his daughter today. She says, you know what? Sad to say it. I don't know. She said something like, good thing my dad, not that she's glad he passed away, but that he wasn't around. He would have wound up rotting in a jail cell because of Vinny and Anthony Capo and them. Today I got the message. And you know what? It hit home because she's right. They would have put his lights out because Rudy wasn't going down. And he didn't go down. I wasn't going down. We'd have went down with the ship. His daughter, Karen, good kid. All his kids were good.
Thank you, Mark G. Brooklyn, how many years did it take for you guys to reunite? Well, you know what, people? Let me just go ahead and give you guys a story. And it's just incredible. So back then, when I was young, I used to hang out with Jimmy's other family, and Jimmy was always crazy. Always, he was always. I called him a menace to society. So back then, when Jimmy kept getting arrested, he used to go in and out of jail, in and out of jail, until one point, right after that situation that happened with the leg shooting, um, Jimmy went away, and shortly after that, nobody ever seen him again.
No, when I went away to the Fort Dix fight, nobody came. Then when I came home, and then I was home a few months, and that's when they picked me up again. And you never seen me again.
And that was the last time I seen Jimmy. I guess some police put out the word that he had passed away, and believe it or not, we went with that forever. Because
well, let me back up. He don't know what happened. Was the agents went to my sister and told her that they're going to make sure I never touch the streets again unless he cooperates. And they put my brother in the program. They offered my sister the program and her family, and she turned it down. And at that point, they said, "Listen, Donna, if anyone knocks on your door and asks you about your brother, just say, as far as we're concerned, he died in jail." Say it to everybody. And my girl cousins knew to say that too. This way, nobody could say, "Where is he? Listen, we heard he died in jail. We don't want nothing to do with him. He's dead, no eyes. He's a rat." Say whatever you got to say. And that's what they didn't want to use the word rat, so they just said he died. So that's what
that was the story I heard. Those cousins were the people that I hung out with daily, and we just never thought nothing of it. And then I'm a very huge supporter of watching Vlad videos. So one day I put on a Vlad video, and I seen his video. And I said, "Wow." It just hit me. And mind you, I wasn't looking at his actual video because he's a lot older. But when I heard the stories that he was telling, I already knew who it was because I was there. I witnessed it. So when I remember him, he was a lot younger. No offense, Jimmy. But I told my mom, I said, "Mom, tell me if you remember this." And she was like, "Yeah, that's Jimmy." And I was like, I know I wasn't bugging out. So
she was there when
immediately,
I shot Fat Ronald.
exactly. And that's when we reunited right before his Matthew Cox interview.
show.
It's been over 20 something years. I met him at the Matthew Cox show, and ever since then it's been like old times, just older. So yeah, it took 20 something years to link back up with Jimmy. Great to see that he's a father to his 3 beautiful girls. I've been to his home. I spent time there. He has a lot on his plate, and you know what? I'm proud of him. No matter what anybody says, he turned his life around. And I don't know if there's any single dads in here, but you know damn well it ain't easy raising 3 little girls. Not 1, not 2, but 3 by yourself every single day.
One trader for the world.
Thank you for the question, brother. I really appreciated that question. Thank you. Thank you, Fidel. Jimmy, I worked at TJ Bentley's in the 90s. My boss was Tommy Sullivan. Did you know him?
No, I go in and you know how it was. The bar was here. Then you had that pole rail there.
Yeah.
And then the other side, the dance floor. So you either danced or you squished in the bar, and there was never no room. I listen, it was a good place, packed all the time, a lot of cops. But I don't think I knew him, to be honest with you. You're talking 35, 38 years ago. I couldn't remember him.
So now, getting back to your story and your chapter in the book, when you turned 18 and you finally got with Rudy Ferrone, the captain, what changed from that day?
Well, like I told DJ Vlad, I said, what happens at that point is you belong to an organization. Like I had some little Sherlock money out. Like if you lost too much money bookmaking, okay, you owe $5,000, you pay $150 a week until you pay it off. Nothing comes off. So I got to like, wow, this is easy money without showing up, answering phones, checking tickets, checking the paper. I started wanting to be a loan shark more than a bookmaker, but I continued my bookmaking because it was great. Always made steady money. Then Rudy, once I became a Rudy, I found out how big of a loan shark he was, him and Joe. He gave me 100,000. He said, put another 100 out in the street. Go ahead. He charged me 1 point. So I was charging, if it was a loan over 25 or 50, I charged 2 points. You know, if it was over that, then I get 3, 4, 5 points. It was like not over that, under that, like small amounts. 5,000, 4 points, 200 a week. You want it or not? 200 everybody come up with. But then I started getting really big, and then I started. Rudy let me go bigger ones, like the guy Robert Stanley from Howard Beach. His daughter Kim Stanley. Everybody knew her. She was well known, put it that way. I took his elegant limousine company. I jammed him up. He got so much backed up with me that I took his limousine company. He owed me $300,000. And then we took his Jimmy Amico. Then they went to bat for him, the Gottis, the father. And pretty much said, okay, we're going to pay his debt. He sent Bobby Borriello around down to the Blue Fountain Diner. And he said, I'm going to pay the debt. You're going to leave this guy alone from now on. And then Joe Smash said, listen, I'm a wise guy. He told me to go fuck myself. He said, Joe, do what you got to do, but don't kill him. So we lured him downtown Brooklyn. We split his head open, Jimmy Amico. Joe Smash, old guy and all, come with a baseball bat, wheeling, bang, hit him. Fat Ronald was there before I shot him. He started hitting him. We all started hitting him. Left him, beat him, put him in a Methodist hospital. And we took his motorcycle, too, just on spite.
And what was the discipline like with Rudy? Like, what was the
Rudy
expectation?
would tell me, look, I'm giving you the license to do anything you want. If anybody says anything like the Joker Poker, you're supposed to be a wise guy. You're doing it for me, which I really was at first. It was his route. And then he said, listen, you want it? I'll sell it to you. And he did. And I bought the route, and I started putting more machines. I kept robbing machines, posing as police. We were going in there asking, whose machine is this? And most of them are foreigners, Koreans, Indians. They're like, not my machine. Okay, well, here's the police station card. Let them come down and claim it. We hand truck it right out. I bust the lock off, take the money out, put my lock, put another location.
I'd rather understand that they used to have in New York poker machines in the back in a little secret area.
Jerry Masters. I had the horse racing one. I had them all.
So he used to come in to these stores, whether it was Chinese stores, Italian stores, whatever stores that had them, and he would pose as a police officer. He would take the machines and he would put them in his own locations. That's what he was doing back then.
They couldn't call the cops because they're not allowed to have them.
Yeah. Thank you, G-Man, for the super chat. Thank you, brother. I was 9 or 10 when my older bro taught me poker and I started gambling. Jim, how old were you when you started gambling? Do you have YNG, a young gambling story?
Well, listen, we used to play like New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, play poker, maybe for nickels and dimes. But yeah, I loved it. We'd play AC Doocy. We'd play all the poker games. Texas Hold'em was more down south. But we played regular poker, 5 card, 7 card, Klondike. I played everything. Deuces Wild, you name it. I would have gambled on 2 cards. I love Pinochle, but not a lot of people play it.
Now that we're on gambling and money, I know from 18 to, if I'm not mistaken, I read in the book from like 18 to 21 or 22, you was already considered a millionaire. Can you explain that?
I made a lot of money, and like I told you, I didn't go out flamboyant, showing, buying. I drove an old Wrangler, which everybody in the neighborhood knew it. Red Wrangler, wasn't old.
Red one.
That one, and I had my Corvette for when I went out on weekends. Kept it low key. I wore just a regular sweatsuit. I didn't get flashy, and that's what I got to thank Joe Smash about a little bit. He said, the guy that lays low key. Look at me. I can own anything in the world. I ride a motorcycle. I drive an older car. But it was an older BMW, but he was a big BMW man, Joe. He had a house on Bay 10. That was a gorgeous house. Lived next door to Vincent Gardina, the actor from Moonstruck. And I was gambling since I was a little boy. I was always old enough to bet. I go to track with my father. He'd rather be in with him than on a corner.
Yeah, that's for sure. You gotta make sure. And listen, like I said, when I knew Jimmy from back in the days, he used to hide his money in his waterbed, and
I'll
that's
tell you,
true.
Mike, he's asking about a sit down. There was a bunch of them I was on. Another one with Tony Lee over another guy with a collision shop. And Rudy came down from the Jersey Shore. I'll never forget. He came down with his tropical shorts. Tony Lee was dressed. We met in the Chelsea house off the Bell Parkway. I don't know if anybody knows where that is. Used to be a lobster place. There's a liquor store, I think, next door, if I can remember right. We met in there, and pretty much the guy wrote a hot check. I don't know what his argument was about. We bought it to a check casher guy that used to charge 3% to cash it. So he's like, oh, well, fuck the check casher guy. It ain't out of your pocket. No, it is. We guaranteed it. So Tony Lee said, no, you're going to pay. And he made him pay. That was just one of them. There's a bunch of Joe Watts with Raymond Giordano. That wound up me trying to kill Raymond. I shot him, but I didn't kill him outside his house. You know, he shot back. I give him props for that. Raymond Giordano, Joe Watts sat down for him right in the pizzeria on Fifth Avenue. Rudy was there. Raymond kept running his mouth. Right? Rudy told him, why don't you and Jimmy just handle it one-on-one? I said, I love that. I went home, got Pluto. He had family on 6th Street, so he stopped there first. I was waiting for when he got home. He had a son with him, which was a street kid. When they got out of the car, I opened fire, but I didn't hit him. I shot him 5 times and I missed.
Thank you, Matt.
But it was like 4 houses away. There's a difference.
Who was the greediest, cheapest mobster you have ever met when you were active? Good question.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Joe was the cheapest, but Joe was not greedy. Joe had a heart, but he played that tough guy. Like he had a son, got caught for bank robbery because he was on drugs. You know what he tell him? I'll let him die in there. He was too stoned to hold the gun, and he tried to rob a bank. Leave him in there. I lost a little respect for him. Mary, his wife, used to send the guy money in jail. And his son, Christopher, the one that's from Miramax, they used to send him money. Joe wouldn't even send him money. Joe was a millionaire. So to me, that's greed. What is to send a guy $100 away a month? Let him at least, get a little commissary, toiletries.
Some ramen noodles, some toothbrush.
Crackhead soups, yeah, we call them.
Thank you, Noise. Thank you. I remember I used to do the tickets. All the games were on the tickets, and you had to rip off the bottom. That's how I made money. Yes.
Yeah.
Rip off the bottom, write your name, the amount.
I had old ladies, 12 for 12. They're betting 500 to 1. I mean, I used to hold the ball myself. I used to give them in and get 25%. I don't know if that's E-work. Then I said, no, what's 25? I'm going to hold it all. I'm telling you, I was lucky maybe, but I started really saving money, putting a lot of money away. I really did. And then when Rudy gave me all that, I started putting money on the streets. I was making good money, loan sharking. Then some drug dealers I was shaking down, 200 a week, 300 a week. The collision shots were paying me, So I had a very good income. And nobody out there could say I was broke. No, nobody could say that.
Thank you, Lancia. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yes, we had a couple. There was one lady in Fort Dix. She was a colored lady. She was on the take. Then there was another one in MDC. If you remember, 1997, January 23rd, I got locked up with Nicky Krause and Lenny DiMaria, Gambino bosses, and we had a counselor. I think his name was Ramos. He let us use the phones, everything. Then they started bringing food in. And somebody told on them. And they brought us to court. And judge says to Lenny DiMaria or Nicky, one of them, he said, looks like you gained a little, Judge Block. He said, looks like you gained a little weight over at MDC. Must be all that good food you've been eating. He said, what'd you have, the meatballs? So he said, no, Your Honor, I had the veal. It was pretty good. I said, okay, that's good. Well, he's got another charge. They've had him concurrent.
Thank you, Bronx Bull. Thank you for the question. Jimmy, if you could do any other job besides selling cars, what would it be?
Honestly, after selling cars, believe me, I never want to do nothing again. Probably sell cars, and then besides that, flip homes. That'll be my next step because I'm retiring January 1st. And then I'm just going to buy and sell homes.
There you go, people.
Yeah, I got a couple rental right now. I'm going to get rid of those, sell those. Then I'm going to just go into buy and fix me up. I'm going to go to auctions, try to buy some foreclosures.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you for the question. How old are your girls, Big Jim?
Natalie's going to be, she's 19. Juliana is, she'll be 18 in February 2nd. And Stella will be 8 in January.
Shout out to them.
That's my life right there.
Natalie, Stella, and Gigi. Big help. Without them, Jimmy won't be on stream. But he's getting used to it, people. He's getting used to it, little by little. Just going through some of these questions here. Guys, 321 people in the chat. We really appreciate you all. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free to support the channel. Share the live. We just finished going over a lot of content from chapter 1 in the book. For those of you who don't have the book, go find it on Amazon. Hitman Tells All, available all over. We just getting started with chapter 1 of the book. We gave you a bunch of punchlines and different stories from it.
Bella.
Who was? Sorry, I'm just reading some of these. Thank you, the Daily. Shouldn't the Coca-Cola be where you can see it at all times?
Nope. Only got to show it.
They got to send the check first. Can't give free advertisement. Definitely can't do that. Thank you, Bam Bam. Jimmy, do your friends and neighbors in Arkansas know your background?
You know, Bam, I'll be honest with you, I live in a really pretty big house, and one of my daughters had a boy that used to come over all the time. He was one of their friends, and I got pool table and all to hang out in my house. And on his Life 360, he put my witness name is Zach, in the witness security down Jimmy. And he's got it Zach Cemetery because there's a bunch of property around me. I'm on 10 acres. So some kid wanted to ask my daughter out. He pulled in the driveway. I had Anthony Muscles here. And he big in wintertime. He's wrote a pressure washer, tatted all up, muscled up. What do you want? Get back to the driveway. So, yeah, now they do now. What happened is I went through a bad divorce, and she got my oldest daughter on the stand. She said, how did it feel to have a father that's still cold murder? He had some kind of paperwork in his hand. And my daughter was like, what are you talking about? My daddy's a car salesman. And they never knew nothing. I lived the most normal 20-something years you would ever imagine.
Yeah.
You know, they had an idea with my accent and the way I carry myself. They would ask me, I say, no, my father was I'm a military brat. You know, that's what the marshals tell you to say. And a lot of people were like, no. And then when it came out, everybody's telling me. Like, I was in a restaurant, Lebrowski's. Great food in Arkansas. I was in the owner. She comes up to me. She says, I would have never known. Me and Stella, my little one, I take her there all the time. You know, with daddy and daughter on Sundays, we go out. Me and her, we spend the day together.
And guys, I went out there. You know, Jimmy gets treated great out there. He has his own little section in certain places. And it's weird that he brings up the story with the boy coming over, because let me tell you, firsthand experience. When I went there, the same thing actually happened. It was like I thought I was gonna be in like a bad boy movie. You remember when they brought the boy over and Will Smith and Martin Lawrence started going crazy and acting crazy. So his daughter bring the boy over because they were going on a date and wanted us to meet the kid. And when he came in, I said, oh man, this is just one of those, how is this gonna go? But the kid ended up being a good kid. Jimmy gave his blessings and his daughter went on the date and she was home the time when she needed
I said,
to be.
no later than 10. He said, 9:30, good sir?
Yeah, yeah, he sure did. He said my curfew's at 10, so I'll have her back
Gigi,
here by 9:30.
Did you let him know daddy don't play? She said, daddy, he watched your podcast.
Shout out to Lost in the Fog. Thank you, brother. These are the great stories, fella. This is what we.
This is what we wanted. We keep, and be out of this.
And listen, this is what we love to do. This is what we love to do. And one thing I want to tell you guys, man, within the past day, I know it's been a lot of controversy, but within the past day, 24 hours or so, we jumped up about almost 200 followers, 200 subscribers. You don't understand how much we appreciate that. It shows that our hard work is getting noticed. It shows that people are starting to hear that not only do they bring content, but they're credible. And understand, when we fall on our face, it's because we're new to this. All the things that you're seeing going wrong, you're seeing it live with two people that's never been on YouTube like that. I surf YouTube. I've tried it in the past, but never something that I dedicated, 12, 13, 14 hours a day into. Because believe me, this thing takes a lot of time, a lot, especially when you're dealing with Jimmy, because he forgets everything. So he texts me 100 times a day. He'll remember stuff from
I got a lot on my mind, Brooklyn. You know I got a lot on my mind. 3 girls. They'll drive you to drink, and I don't drink.
I'm not even gonna use that as an excuse. Thank you, Steve Mansour. You said you don't like telling stories of your hits because of the families, but this is the mafia genre, and us viewers want to know the facts as you say so. Let us hear it. No excuses.
It's in my book, the name, when, where. I've said it on Lad. I said it on every show. If you look at me. The one daughter got reached out and said, please. And I'm going to give them as much respect as I can. But you could see it on every other show. There's one with Johnny Mitchell dropping soon. There you go. You're going to hear the hard fact right there. John Mitchell, he asked me. Straight up asked me what you want to know, and I told him the truth. Okay? And that's the last time I'm going to bring it up to anybody, because there is families out there. But yes. Am I capable of it? Absolutely. Did I? Yes. What else you need to know? You want to bet? We can put up money. I hear so many people going on other shows and talking shit, but none of them will put their fucking money up. Because I tell you what, I'll give you 2, 3 to 1, 4 to 1. We'll go to any lawyer's office you want. Throw my papers on the table. Don't talk about it. Put up and shut up.
You have to think about it. Yes, we understand.
Who's going to admit to scumbag things like I did?
Like, this is
maybe
the mob.
Other guys glorify that they were big rats and big killers. No, that's something to be ashamed of. Years ago, I was that jerk off that thought it was glorifiable. It's not. You guys got to realize that. And that big bamboon, that Jooch, he's got to realize that. He thinks he's the mafia, the godfather, John. He's the godfather of shit.
And listen, think about it. If it was we understand it's the mafia genre. We get it. But think about if it was your family member. Would you want him to keep bringing up the fact that he took your family member's life? It's a hurtful situation. One of these people has a daughter. They reached out and they're hurt by the name, by what's going on. So why keep throwing it in their face? It was done. He pleaded guilty to it. The names are all over. If you just go and watch some interviews, you'll find the names quicker than anything. He said them the other day.
Listen, one of them was my godson, Pluto's son, Anthony. Reed, Owlhead Park. I think it was 94, 95 on Overton Parkway. Okay? There's one that's right there. You can pull it up. I mean, hello. I mean, somebody the other day from the shows, they sent me a picture of the kid. I said, yeah, that was him. Remember the one with the mother was blocked out, blurred out?
I think his name was Puzzles. I think that was his name. But yes.
He sent me, is this the kid? I said, yeah. So and believe me, folks, there ain't a day goes by. I wish I could take that back, but I was put in a bad spot.
Thank you so much, Staten Island Rob, for the super chat. Thank you. Don't let Dom the Wash Woman get to you guys. Ignore him.
I'm making Dom. He works for me right now. He keeps my population going up. My subscribers going up and up and up. Every time he opens his mouth, I go up 30, 40. Gene, the one that Don acts like he's the brains of it. Gene told him, Dom, you don't see what he's doing? He's using you for... And sure enough, Gene can figure that out. But Dom says he's the smarter one. No, Gene's the smarter one. Gene caught on, yeah. And then what's his name said, oh, Jimmy wants to grow too fast. Well, you know what? I don't like to lose. I like trying my hardest on everything I do. That's why I was successful. I don't have to live off women.
Thank you, T-Knot. Jimmy Easy's house worth more than Dom's couch. Well, he did a video in his backyard. I don't know if it was, but he did a video in his backyard. Show the home. Do a Mafia Cribs edition in Dom Sakali's home.
Let him show that his home like I did. I'll show anything you want. My business is my home. He said I got a 3-car lot. I saw that in a day, but that's beside the point. I got 3 lots. Let him show another thing. He said he put an offer in on the cheesesteak place. Now, you hate Joey. Every other word out of your mouth is Joey. Why don't you prove that you tried to buy his place? Prove it. Come on. We show proof. Come on. The shows you just talk. Then you go on other guy's show and you try to intimidate them, say what you want them to say. Well, you ain't doing it over here.
Yeah, that was a very sad situation.
He put words in the guy. Every time the guy went to open his like a fucking chihuahua.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Jimmy.
Number stores, yeah. There was a guy down with Carroll Street, Joe Bike. Costa Rica Montes. He was about 78 years old. Had his hair done every day, his suit, gold cane. He was a big number guy.
Thank you so much, Mark.
And there was an old lady in the neighborhood that Carmine Persico loved. She was a big-time number lady. Margaret, maybe? Yeah, Margaret. That was her name. Big-time number lady. Then there was old man Joe Doc.
Joe Doc, I remember him.
That was Gas Pipe's uncle.
Yeah, he actually looked just like Gas Pipe. He used to always wear the glasses. He used to always walk up and down the street. He used to be with my Uncle Anthony. May he rest in peace. He was actually the one who introduced me to the football tickets that you had to tear on the bottom. So, yeah.
He was good for that with his look.
Yeah.
But he, you know what? I had an argument with him in the club one day in front of Rudy because you remember those young girls that we talked about? I knew the mother. And Joe Doc was trying to hit on those young girls. And in the club, I got into an argument about it. Joe, what the fuck are you doing trying to talk to these young girls about a pizzeria? Oh, what fucking business of yours? What the fuck? What are you, a child molester? He went to answer it. He fell, boom, on his back. So I was just stepping on his throat. Little Tony Tedesco, he grabbed me off him, and then Rudy, leave. And then Tony calls 911. I said, leave him, let him die. I was taking his money out of his pocket. Fucking child molester motherfucker. He's running around 15-year-old girls giving him money. I found out. No, see, I don't play that shit.
Yeah,
that don't play well with me.
No pedophiles. We don't like
and
that.
Let me tell you, actually, let them ask their FBI friends what I did to the one guy.
Thank you, Mark G. Thank you. Jimmy, after the life, did you doubt that you would make a financial comeback like you did?
Well, no. I was more blessed. I signed an exclusive with Dirksen Portable Buildings, and I got all Northeast Arkansas. That was a blessing. I make very good money with them, legacy. And then I got the car businesses, and honestly, I got blessed. I had the restaurants, but it was killing me. 7 days a week. Never seemed like it, but I was determined not to give up. Determined I was going to be something because there was no falling back. Mom and dad's dead. I got nobody else. Yeah. I got nobody. I failed. My kids failed. So there was no other way but surge straight ahead. And thank God I pulled through on my car business. Thank God. But this year I retire. I'm done.
And that's very true. That is very true.
Yeah, I stole a bunch of mob guys' machines. There was an Albanian guy. I had to bring this up too. On McDonald Avenue, where his place was. Because what we do is we'd follow his guys on routes and we find their spots. Because they were Albanians. They figured, where could they run them? And this kid Diamond was an ex-wrestler, long hair. He was in Fort. Then I seen him in Fort Dix. I hope he don't remember. Right? He didn't know who stuff. We were stealing theirs. So we would get it the day before he'd pick up their empty them out. So we made sure there was money in them. I put a guy tailing his guy.
Thank you, Bam Bam. What do you know about John Jr.'s brother, Pete?
Peter was a nice guy. Always at the track. When I was saddling horses in the paddock, Jimmy, you gonna win. John was a gentleman. Peter was a gentleman. You know, I heard Gene saying he was pretty treacherous, this and that. I never seen that side of him. At the racetrack, he was nice to me. Even after I had the beef with his brother, still nice to me. We're always talking. He was just a gentleman to me. I didn't see that side of him. Peter was a good kid. I always said it.
We got the most craziest question. I can't even post.
Bring her.
Nah, I can't post that question. They'll strike us for that. This is a fact. Against all odds. It's simple. If you were frauds, Nadu would have served you guys by now. So you're clearly legit.
Listen, Nadu knows. Let me tell you something. He's got the most knowledge. He put Dominic in his shoes. Nadu gets the most knowledge. But I'll tell you one thing. Proctor let out an interview today. He was pretty fair this time. I got to say it. I'll call it like it is. If you act like an idiot, I'm going to call you an idiot. And I think Proctor pretty much said it like it is. You know, and the best everybody knows about everybody. And that, you know, he brought up about Larry not even being made. And that, you know, and I didn't even know Larry was a captain. I never heard that before either. But you never know.
Yeah, I didn't really understand all that part. I didn't really look too much into it, but he did say that he was, I guess, considered.
And then when Jesse introduced him, he said he's a soldier in the Colombo family. So I got more confused.
Yeah, so Proctor said he's an associate. Jesse said he's a soldier. And I guess somebody else said he was a captain. So.
Strictly cycle. When you make an allegation about someone who can't back you up with proof, you have proven yourself to be a liar. Thank you. He did. I mean, his own words. It ain't like I'm saying like he does. Oh, somebody told me this. Who's that somebody? Say it. We bring facts. Say it.
And you know what? There's a bunch of people here in the chat that reach out to us, email, and we tell them the same thing. If you're not willing, listen, if you're willing to give us information and not willing to come on and you know, let the people know, then we don't want to hear it. You know, it's all about transparency. It's not about he said, she said, you know, it's not about any of that. We seen that he was, you know, being a crybaby regarding the whole guy coming on the show and addressing his situation. And listen, that's what we chose to do. This is our channel. We chose to put it together like that. We didn't need Jimmy to speak or take control or even have control of anything, because that's not what we do here. We're not you. We don't need to, you know, let everyone know that this is mine and I started this. And, you know, no, you want transparency, then we're going to bring you the transparency. The same way we're bringing on an FBI agent that took down Jimmy's family. It don't get more transparent than that. Now you can ask them all the questions you want if, you know, if it comes to that, because we're going to be promoting a lot of this stuff, and we'll probably take a few questions. But yeah, this is just what it is. They've been on for 4 years. Have you seen them do it yet? Have you seen them bring an agent on to clarify certain things? No.
No, you got to believe what Dom says. It's Dom's court. It's my way or the highway, he says. And I took the highway because it ain't going to be his way with me. I answer to one person.
Thank you so much, Dave. Good evening, guys. Enjoying your stories and content to know a little bit about Jimmy. Happy to see we're moving on from that piece of shit.
Yeah, good. I like it. Everybody, put the shit behind us.
You know, it's unfortunate that sometimes we do have to answer certain things because, listen, we're human. You know, sometimes when people lie on you and you know it's a lie and you know it's going to hurt your image or hurt your viewerships, then why not address it? You know, post the facts. You talk all this stuff about us, just post it and shut them up. That's it.
Believe me, if you got one lie on me, please post it, please.
That's it. We get a lot of that in the chat. Oh,
that
you guys
life
are
is over
life.
with. You got me 30 years ago, I'd have told you the sky was purple. Whatever I tell you. Now, no. I only know one way. You know, the truth will set you free the rest of your life, folks. I know it sounds crazy that I'm saying that. Years ago, nobody would have believed that. I have cousins that wouldn't believe that I would ever change my life.
Yeah.
And you know what? They jump ship on me, and I really don't care because they can go do whatever they want, but they never believed I would change.
And you know what, people, for those who are new, I stated this, wow, probably our first interview. Those same cousins told me, stay away from him. You know, that's what they told me. Facts. Stay away from him. You know, he don't do nothing for nothing.
I was also under investigation for another murder that I didn't even do. And my own cousin sat with the FBI and Bridget Rhodes, the prosecutor, John Sparacino. He got killed by Johnny Papa and Calvin. I came up the block one night because I warned him, don't sell drugs with my niece in the car no more. He kept selling drugs in the car. So I come up with my brand new vet and I accelerated because Carroll Street was an uphill. And he opened fire at all of them. So I took off, got to the corner, had a girl in the car. This girl she got deceased in the World Trade Center. And I go home, I get pulled over first. They searched my car, there's no guns, bullet holes in my car. I had no guns. But I went home, got them, went looking for them, couldn't find them. Next day I go tell Rudy what's going on. Joe Smash calls me over. They're Colombo guys. I heard what happened. I got two guys coming down they want to talk to you. I said, okay. We're in there. Johnny Papa, Calvin walks in, and there was another guy outside. I didn't know who he was. He looked Spanish. So Joe said, Jimmy, you got a minute? I said, yeah, Joe. This is about that thing last night. So we go for a little walk. And Joe said, Jimmy, I know you don't want to talk. I didn't because I was hot. And the kid, Johnny Papa, said, Jimmy, look, I know what you got in your mind, but do me a favor. Wait, give us 2-3 days. Nothing happens. Do whatever I know what you got in your mind. I said, I know what you're talking about. Joe looked at me and we smiled. Joe said, give him 2-3 days. I looked at Joe and I winked, yeah. And then all of a sudden, a couple of days later, prosecutors and FBI's all around my cousin's house. Old lady Jonesy across the street said, be careful. Linda's talking to the feds. My cousin. These are the people that said you live by the sword, die by the sword. So make a long story short, Johnny Papa, one of them on the phone, they're talking about the murder. They get caught intercepted or CI got them. So they go to trial. When they go to trial, I'm in Fort Dix. You can Google this. Same time I was in Fort. They subpoenaed my brother to the trial and put my brother on the stand. I had Jimmy DePietro and Al Aroni there for my brother. And they said, Anthony, isn't it true that your brother had a shootout with John Sparacino days before he was found dead? My brother looked at Jimmy DePietro. My brother waived his Fifth Amendment rights. They were bringing me from Fort Dix. Jimmy DePietro said to the lawyer, Judge, Your Honor, my client's going to say the same thing, Fifth Amendment rights. So the prosecutor said, we don't need to bring them. But to me, that was a wrong move to bring up in court that I had a shootout with somebody, which I really didn't. They shot at me. But to bring that up and to divert the attention off them, I mean, they're doing life. I mean, they brutally tortured this kid. That's how they killed him. But make a long story short, how quick my cousin believed that it was me that did it. And her own father, Ralphie, from the club down on 3rd Street, not 3rd and 4th Avenue, down there, he's the one that asked me to go tell this kid to stop selling cocaine with Dino in the car. And I did. And you know what? Then after that, they got mad at me for sure. I didn't even fire a shot. There wasn't one bullet in their house. But across the street, Josie's house, whatever, the old lady, bullets in their house. That's common sense.
Yeah, she lived directly across the street. I remember that.
She told me, watch, be careful. Your cousin Linda's talking to the feds, and they've been in and out. Meanwhile, I didn't even do it.
Thank you. Thank you for the question, brother. How great is Devontae sandwich shop in Red Hook? Amazing. One of the best. If you guys are in Brooklyn, go check it out. The Fonte Sandwich Shop in Red Hook. Their sandwiches
I
are
never had it.
so they do all
I
the
like Nino's
Italian
down there.
sandwiches.
Is Nino's still there down the police station by the police station, the Italian restaurant?
Well, everything in Park Slope pretty much changed, but I know DeFonte's is a landmark there. They do all the veal, chicken, cutlet parm, all the good stuff for sure. Go check it out if you're in Red Hook. That was Jimmy Gallo's area.
Jimmy
Definitely.
Gallo was a stone cold killer. He took 25 years. He came home. I met him. He come to my medical center on 9th Street. We'll talk about the medical center on the next one. I have medical centers. And they came in, him and Anthony Capo were looking for somebody, and I said, I don't know where they are. I knew what they wanted him for. And they laughed, but he introduced me. He says, Philly Abramo, he was a captain in our family. He was the king of Wall Street. He was a genius, Philly. And they said, Philly said he did time with Chuck before Dix. He did great time. And that was it. That was that. Then Jimmy Gallo caught it when Vinny flipped. Vinny named him as the second shooter on the Fred Weiss murder for John Gotti. Kid took 25 more years, went right back.
Yeah, instantly.
Jimmy Gallo wasn't over a year, 6 months.
When we have that detective, the FBI agent on, he's gonna, I'm sure, address that. It's all, excuse me, it's all over his book. Thank you, Bedbug, for the question. Brooklyn, why do you keep shouting out Free Johnny A-Light? Do you truly believe criminals should be on the street? Well, I personally don't think anyone should be in jail unless you're a pedophile, a murderer. I just don't think you should be in jail. You know, like I don't wish jail on anyone. So yeah, free A-Light. I hope he comes home. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, so I've seen a lot of the work he did in Jersey and a lot of the lives he's changed. Remember, he goes to all these schools out there in New Jersey and he preaches to these children, and they stick with his message because they know the person that he was in the life. You know, the amount of lives that he's changed and is changing means a lot. That can be your son, your daughter, your nephew, your grandson. It can be anyone. So yeah, I don't think he should be in jail. I personally think that a lot of these people that is involved in the government definitely don't want him a part of that, meaning holding any council seat. So maybe the story is just bigger than what it really is. But thank you for the question. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you, Mark. Great show tonight. Thank you so much. What do we got here? Strictly, the only tough guys I know are dead or in jail. There's a few out, right, Jim? There's a few out. There's a few
But
people.
they are right. Very few in return. There's a couple out there, but honestly, they're so scared of their best friend wearing a wire, or somebody coming into them with this great opportunity. This is full of diamonds. We can make all this money. Nobody's giving nothing away out there no more. If you think you're that smart, you're going to jail.
Yeah. Thank you. The truth. Some of these fanboys get so nervous they fumble and forget their question, like in Christmas Story when Ralphie makes it to Santa only to mistakenly ask for a football rather than a Red Ryder BB gun. Don't know what that means, but I think Jimmy's stories are pretty fluent. If you go look at every single interview he's done, the story stays the same. It never goes off course. So yeah. Johnny Smith hooked me up with a case of Coca-Cola, Jimmy. Thank you, Button. Hey, Jimmy, ever deal with Connecticut guys?
There was one guy that I used to drive Rudy all the time. I think I said this before. Not really. Rudy would straighten out with him. I think Rudy would let him a lot of money. The guy was like half a legitimate guy, but he would lend out money for Rudy, and we drive up to Highlight with the way they play throw the ball, which is fixed. We'd meet him there. Or if the Highlight wasn't open, we'd meet him somewhere else, and that was it. No real business with Connecticut guys.
There you go for that. Guys, 300 people still in the chat. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for staying with us. We've been on for a little under 2 hours. We're going to go for another 6 minutes, answer some questions. give some shout outs. Let's see what we got here. Thank you so much, Chief. This is nice, fellas. Relaxing. Great show tonight, my brothers. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to have more of this.
Thank you. Jimmy Easy. Oh, thank you. The truth, Jimmy Easy. When I saw Cynthia was here, I got a little sick. Well, whatever situation you have with her has nothing to do with me or Jimmy. She's nothing but respectful here in the show, and she supports the show, and that's really all I care about. As far as anything that happened on MRT, you can take it over there to MRT. Thank you so much, Fidel, Jimmy's World, his daughters. That's wonderful, Jimmy. Great work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Love listening to the content and not the bullshit.
That's what it's going to be from now on.
True crime. Thank you so much. Keep on rocking. Thank you.
Thank you, crime.
Thank you, brother.
Crime don't pay.
Definitely don't. Lost in the fog. You gotta respect Jimmy. Respect for the families. He is remorseful. That shows class. Exactly.
Honestly, I can't be more remorseful. Especially with Anthony. Like I said, he was like, I knew him since he was a baby. And with the other one, the family. I couldn't imagine somebody taking me from my daughters.
And listen, people, when we get to that part of the book,
it is what it is, but
chapter, then we're gonna speak on it. But until then, we don't have to keep, going in on it for sure. Thank you, Bobby. Jimmy, I knew someone, can't mention names, but I heard you were a good guy. Thank you. Hey, Bobby, take that over to Dom and tell them that. Tell him that. Jimmy,
but don't let him sell you coins, whatever you do.
No crypto. Don't buy no crypto over there, people. Thank you so much, John Smith. Jimmy, tell us about the fight with John Gotti again.
I was on Cohanster Street. You know where that is if you're from Howard Beach. And there was a guy named Jimmy D'Ambrosio and Joey D'Ambrosio. I might have the names wrong. I know Jimmy was one of them. That's my name. And they sold the fireworks for them. And I get a phone call. John Gotti Jr. He must have got it from Ambrosios or whatever. Phone rang. I answered. It was him. I was on the stoop with my father. My father's reading the racer form. I think we get ready to go to track, or we just came home. I remember because he bought the one the night, then leaving the track to dope him out for the next day. And the phone rang. It was him. Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm by D'Ambrosio's around the corner. Can you come by? I got to talk to you. I already knew what it was about. I knew what the road was about already. But I also was getting stuff D'Ambrosio. I was buying stuff off him, but I don't think D'Ambrosio ever told him because he said, "Why aren't you buying off me?" And I'm like, I was just buying Philly. I'm like, give me 10 cases of a bottle of Rockets I'm low on, or whatever it was I was low on. I'd fill in with him. And I was like, oh, well, John, I've been selling them for Rudy for years. He's, well, for now on, you want to sell them in Howard Beach, you're going to have to pay. I said, well, I'm selling them for Rudy, and, I didn't know there was a toll bridge. You got to pay to come into Howard Beach. I've been selling them 20 years. Well, why don't you sell them for us? That was his biggest annoying. That I come from that neighborhood, and I wasn't with him maybe. I don't know. But it was like agitated him. So I said, listen, I'm selling them, Rudy. Do what you got to do. And I was packing. What he called for me? Because I knew there was animosity. And I ain't letting nobody put a hand on me. That we can make clear. Everybody knows that knows me in the street. I shoot quicker than I talk. And he said, you want to go that road? I said, what do you want me to do? I'm in the spot. Rudy told me I'm selling for him. You're telling me I can't. I'm in a bad spot. He says, okay. So Rudy calls me right away. Come see me. I went to his house. He told me, lay low. And I strapped up. Poodle said, let's just go kill him. Poodle was that way, And then Rudy said, well, let me tell you, so that happens, I got to turn my back on you as a captain. He has to. Can't kill another main guy. And that was a problem. And then he said, listen, then they caught up with me. They posed as cops. I turned my block on Cohancy on Carroll Street in Brooklyn. When I turned up the block, they put a strobe light on a cop car. And the one got out, he had the vest, and then I threw the guns under the seat because I'm a convicted felon already. I can't have a gun. And once he put the gun, I seen like three other guys just jump out quick with bats. I knew right then it was not. So I jumped out of the car, not to run, like just to push the guy back, because I wasn't going to let them get me in the car. Because if they get me in the car, it hurts. So make a long story short, they left me for dead. Thank God Anna Fantasia, Jenny Fantasia from Carroll Street. That was Carmen Persico's aunt. They opened the door, started screaming. Sunday night, it was like 9 o'clock on January 4th, 91. And they started screaming out the door. And their pit bull was either Ronald's pit bull. They lived next door to Sheena. She come out growling. They jumped in the car that I was in, took off with that car and the other cars, took off. And then they found that car burnt in Howard Beach by the Broad Channel. When you park, there's a Surfside Hotel. It was parked right there. All burnt. They burnt it. So no fingerprints are in it.
And just now that he gave the story, let me just address something that Captain Crunch said before. He said, "Oh, do you believe that Jimmy Easy, was looking to kill John Gotti Jr.?" You just heard the story, people. You just
tell me why. If you think you're gonna get killed, tell me what are you gonna do? Just stand there and wait for him? First thought I had was, listen, this guy's gonna kill me. So, and Pluto was easy to gaslight me. Like, let's just kill him. Pluto didn't care who you was. He was like my Uncle Fred. Had no respect for a badge, a title, nothing. And then I went to Rudy and actually said, "Are you nuts? Do you realize you better move your whole family out of Howard Beach?"
There goes your answer. Why would you say that, he was looking for him to kill him? No, stop changing words around. The man said that he went to his captain, Rudy Ferrone.
I did ride around, try to case, find a spot, and see where he's come, like Bella Vita and all, with my Jeep, with Pluto. But, I still kept thinking what Rudy said. Listen, don't even think about what you're doing. And I'm telling Rudy, and then before you know it, they caught up with me. It said, what did it say, 4 or 5 months on the paperwork that Jerry Capricia, 4 or 5 months that they were looking for me.
Yeah. It said it on the paperwork, people. It said they kept missing each other in the paperwork. They kept missing each other during this rivalry until eventually they ended up catching up with Jimmy, doing whatever they did. And then
look, I've been stabbed. Listen to me. I was left for dead. I was in a coma. So when Dom said, "Oh, he got beat up," I think it was a little worse than beat up and stabbed. You name it.
And also think about this, right?
Think about if they would have got me in a car.
Yeah, he's here. He's telling the story. And you know why he's here telling the story? He's here because while he was sitting in that hospital, not only one, but I believe it was one boss, 3 captains, correct me if I'm wrong, they all went and had a sit down in Jimmy's behalf.
Wild Bill, in my behalf, said word. I thought Joey Messina. They all knew him. I took 12 pictures, never gave nobody up.
Yeah.
Never thought about that. That was never a thing in my life. The worst thing in the world to be, besides a child molester to me. But when my bosses all tumbled on me, what am I going to do? I'm a tough guy. Holding the bars. So that's when I decided, you know what? I'm not going to be the last guy standing.
Thank you, Handy Capable. Thank you so much for the super chat. Link to the book, please.
It's Hitman Tell All about the Mafia and Witness Protection Program on Amazon.
Yeah, shoot me an email, jimmyeasymgmt@gmail.com, and I'll send you over the link if you can't find it for sure. Thank you, Primo, for the super chat. Thank you. Been fun, boys. Your chat is the best. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you, Douglas, for the super chat.
Thank you, Douglas.
Farming pays. Jimmy don't farm. He just owns overalls, but he don't farm.
Hey, you like my flannel shirt?
He don't
Walmart.
farm.
No, it's not a Walmart, so.
But yeah, just to get back to that situation, if these people didn't know who Jimmy was, Jimmy would be dead right now. He had to go and people had to go sit down and on his behalf while he was in the hospital, they had to go and let these people know why they shouldn't do this or whatever it was. And they came to a sit down agreement That's why he's here.
And that's when they gave me permission to kill the guy Havey, and I pled to that. It's about paperwork, conspiracy to murder Havey. We pulled up on him. My gun jammed up. We went to clip him right there on the side of my father's house, by the Bell Parkway, and the gun jammed. And I'm sure he's sitting there listening to it, saying he's right. Anybody know the Havey brothers? His wife's close with John Gotti Jr.'s wife, Kim Albanese. Yeah. She's the one that called him and said, he took my husband's car, put a gun to his head. That's the car they took off and left with. I never did that. That's why they said they found out he was lying. They says, there's your retaliation.
Thank you, Steve White. Shout outs to you, brother. I followed Jimmy in Brooklyn since the beginning. Give me a shout out. My real name, where I'm from. I can go anywhere. Like your channel. Keep being you.
Thank you, brother.
Anywhere too. Thank God I can go anywhere too. For sure. Thank you, Primo. So far, IMO. Jimmy is winning the truth war with the genre. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, I want to say, everyone go follow Jimmy on Instagram. Jimmy_Easy_Sirocco. SARACCO. Go pick up his book, Hitman Tells All, on Amazon. Definitely a great read. We want to thank every single person for being with us. We held 300 for most of the night. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to Peter Walter, Donna, Always Love, Dave, Carmela, Anthony, Brian Boss, Strictly Cycling, Jack Amato, Ian, thank you for your good work. Francisco, thank you for being here. Cynthia, thank you. Primo, much love to you. Glad you liked the book. Peter, much love. Snake, we appreciate you. Lost in the Fog, always showing love. Noise, Eric, Bronx Bull, shout out to you. Joseph Pastor, thank you. Sean Brooklyn, thank you so much. Who else we got here? BK's All Rook, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Carmine S, always showing love, keeping the chat active. Brian G31, thank you. Let's see who else. Carmela, thank you so much. The Sit Down with Jeff Hairdo, thank you so much. Doug, thank you. We want to say, everyone, an amazing Wednesday. We hope you guys enjoyed the story. We really try to give you guys everything you asked for. We had to throw in a little bit of proof. Please let us know if you feel like, Larry lied or did not lie. Let's call Jimmy delusional if you guys feel he is. And like I said, we'll keep coming with stories. As long as nobody keeps bringing us up, we're going to keep bringing stories, but you better believe that if they keep coming at us, we're going to come right back. And that goes for anybody. It is what it is. Right, Jim? It is what it is.
It is what it is. My famous words.
It is what it is.
Not bad that we get that tattoo right here. It is what it is.
There you go. Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We're going to be coming live probably Friday, 7 o'clock or 7:30. We haven't made that decision just yet. Thank you for the super chat last minute. Shout out to Eric. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to share the live. Don't forget to share the channel. And most of all, hug your family, love everyone, and just be at peace, people. Jim, take us out, man.
Folks, thank you all. Like, again, I couldn't do this without you. And remember, there's nothing on here I'm ever going to lie to you about. My show is nothing but the truth. And if we say something, I'm going to make sure we can back it up. Not, this federal agent told me this and this gangster told me that. I never seen a cooperator have all these moves, but they can't sell protein.
Everyone, thank you. Be easy. We out. Brooklyn.
Good night. God bless. Everybody stay safe. Don't drink and drive. I'll text.
All love. Thank you.